I want to move on, though, because we still have to talk a bit more about the Kamala Harris campaign and all the things that went wrong there. And I thought this was absolutely fascinating in the Financial Times this week, where it was revealed that Kamala Harris decided not to do the podcast interview with Joe Rogan for fear of progressive backlash, particularly among the young staffers on her campaign. I'm sorry, but, like, you're running for president and you can't stand up to your staffers? How is this even possible? It seems like the United States and the world dodged a real bullet here, of a president who couldn't stand up to her staffers, much less to, Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping.
Exactly, James. I had the same thought. I mean, this is a position where you want that person getting the 3 a.m. call to be smart, to be tough, and when they're facing world leaders, to stand up for American interests. And she can't even stand up to the woke Gen Zers on her staff. Progressive backlash. I mean, it's not like people are going to see Kamala Harris on Joe Rogan and decide, oh, I can't vote for her now. I'm voting for Trump or I'm staying home. Come on. And Kamala really did need to reach out. Trump did very well, especially with Gen Z young men. I have a reporter in Arizona, one of my swing state reporters at the Post, working on a piece on why. These were the people she needed to reach, and she just decided not to. I think she was probably scared because 3 hours with Joe Rogan, she's eventually going to have to answer a question. It's really just we're going to be hearing a lot of blame game on what went wrong with Kamala Harris's campaign. But the ultimate problem that was wrong with her campaign was the candidate herself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I said from the start that this was doomed for disaster. You remember how poor candidate she was in 2020. She managed to crash out before the primaries even began. But let's move on to Capitol Hill, though, because we've now got the news this week that South Dakota Senator John Thun will become the new Senate Majority Leader of the Republicans. Now, for our viewers here in Australia, it's important to note that after the January 6th riots in 2021, Thun said that Trump's actions were inexcusable, and he was also the first member of the Republican congressional leadership to call on Trump to withdraw in 2016 after the infamous Access Hollywood tape that was made public. I guess they maybe have patched things up a bit, but does it make things tough for Trump getting his agenda through if there's someone who is not only not particularly MAGA, but maybe even a bit anti-MAGA leading the Senate for his party?
Well, it's an interesting question, James. And of course, I think the Trump team wanted Senator Rick Scott to get that position, and he did not. He didn't have enough votes to even make it to the second ballot. But I just saw John Thun on sister station Fox News just a few minutes ago, and he's talking about implementing President Trump's agenda. Now, of course, there's going to be some behind-the-scenes negotiating, but look at this. Trump won every single swing state. He won the popular vote. He has a mandate. So John Thun is going to have to figure out how to implement Donald Trump's agenda, even if he's not happy with Donald Trump, the person, sometimes. But, let's face it, J.D. Vance was not a big fan of Donald Trump when he first ran in 2016, and now he's going to be his vice president. So I think there'll be a lot of, turning around. We've already seen, some people who have criticized Trump now say they're going to be working very hard to put that America First agenda to work. And I think, you have more than half of American voters. They voted for that. What else can John Thun and other Republicans like him do?
Well, exactly right. Hey, listen, before I let you go, let's have a little fun with a bit of pop culture meltdowns here. We all know about what's been going on at Disney for quite some time. They've been on a remarkable downward trajectory. This week, Snow White actress Rachel Zegler went full TDS on Instagram, saying that Trump represented another 4 years of hatred, leading us towards a world I do not want to live in, leading us towards a world that is fearful. And she went further, saying that more than anything, anyone who voted for Trump and Trump himself should never know peace. More of the tolerant left in action, it would seem.
Yeah, James, I love these meltdowns because we're really seeing what people are really like, and they're letting the world know. This woman thinks that, the half of America, more than half of America, shouldn't live in peace. It's just, and obviously it's amusing and kind of fun to watch the meltdowns, even as they are making it clear they have no idea why Donald Trump won, because they're so disconnected from the reality of everyday Americans who care about the economy and their families and care about the open border and the fentanyl trafficking that's come here. And so it'll be an interesting question whether Disney does anything to her, because of course, in the past, if someone's been a Donald Trump supporter, they have had some major problems in Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
even getting fired.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait to see it. This will be a fun 4 years, I think, James. What do you think?
It'll be a fun 4 years. I think that's a good way to put it. Kelly Jane Torrance, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for everything you do. Read her stuff at the New York Post.